And joining me live now to speak on Colonel Manpreet, the funeral that he attended today, as well as the operation in general, the ethos of the army, the families, is General Ved Prakash Malik, former Chief of the Army Staff. Always a privilege, General Malik, to have you with us. I wish it were on happier circumstances or a happier occasion. Sadly, we are here, on a day when two army braves, Colonel Manpreet Singh and Major Ashish, have both been consigned to the flames. You attended the funeral ceremony of Colonel Manpreet Singh. And I know as an army man, a lifelong military man, General Malik, you would have attended many of these. The pain is real. Being there is real. To see the pain of the families on the unit is very real. Share your thoughts with us, General.
Good evening, Shiv. Yes, it's been sad. Last few days have been sad ever since we learned the news about Manpreet and Ashish and the Deputy SP of the J&K Police having lost their lives in the action in Anantnag. Both Manpreet and Ashish, they belong to my regiment, and they were both brave soldiers, upcoming soldiers. Both of them have been decorated with Sena Medal already.
Yes.
And so it's very, very sad to lose such strong officers. It's always sad to lose anybody, but those who have worked with you so closely and whom you have guided and mentored them yourself, you feel pain. The pain is greater, I would say. Yes, I know. I mean, this operation has been going on, and I hope that they succeed in eliminating those people who have carried out these actions against the security forces, and we lost these people.
Yes.
But the pain, as I said, it will not go from us, from our mind, particularly of the families whom we know very closely and who are so young themselves. You've been mentioning about the son,
yes,
who, although wearing uniform, but it brought tears to one's eyes when you see that young boy lighting the fire, funeral fire. And I know these are sacrifices one has to make because of the kind of conditions in which they are fighting. I have myself, my son commanded that sector just a few years ago, and yes, I have myself been in charge of that sector when I was a drill commander. South Kashmir has been causing a lot of pain for quite some time now, and I'm hoping that we will now concentrate our active operations, both sides of East Punjab, this side as well as on the other side in the Jori Punch area. It is required. And I don't think we can take any more casualties of this nature where the commanding officers have to go themselves, lead the operations, and then pay for their bravery.
Yes, indeed. And General Malik, that is something that people are trying to come to terms with. People in the armed forces understand it. Sometimes commanding officers do lead from the front. But to the lay person, the lay viewer, I want someone of your experience to explain it, because there are so many variables, like you said, sir, in South Kashmir. Sometimes the occasion presents itself in such a way that the intelligence is there, the commanding officer feels the need to lead from the front. Can you help us explain under what circumstances something like this would have happened? Because it is extremely rare and therefore extra painful to see a commanding officer killed in action, sir.
Shiv, our training all the way from the time we joined the military college or NDA has been to lead from the front.
Yes.
So everyone feels that he has to lead from the front in the kind of operation that the army is involved. The second thing is that there is a sense of responsibility also. After all, Manpreet Manpreet was commanding the battalion,
Yes.
and Ashish was the senior company commander, whose whole company was involved in this. So there is the second aspect, which is of responsibility, which we have to bear on our shoulders, whatever be our rank. And so this was a particular operation in which his battalion and those companies were involved. And Manpreet felt that he has to lead from the front, he has to go with the troops. And in such operation, counterinsurgency operations or counter-terrorism operations, when you are moving through very difficult terrain of mountains, jungles, you can be ambushed anywhere.
Yes.
You do not know the those few people, the terrorists may be occupying a more advantageous position on top of the mountains or on top of the trees somewhere. And, a burst can kill 2, 3 people who are close to each other. So these are difficult operations. And also some people who think that why should a commanding officer be there? I don't agree with them. As I said, it is training, it is responsibility, it is the ethos of the army, and it is the leadership style. Our style of leadership is quite different to what you see in any other profession.
Yes.
We have to be there. We have to be responsible. We have to lead from the front whenever it is required. So I don't agree with people who are questioning that aspect. And both are brave soldiers. Both are experienced soldiers. Both have been awarded gallantry awards earlier. So anybody who questions their action or being I think is quite wrong.
I'm very glad that you've put that into perspective, because that's a question that's been going there, so we can lay that to rest. You've heard it from a former chief of army staff, no less, and it doesn't get bigger than that. General Malik, last 2 questions. One of them is, the question of morale. This is an operation that is still unfolding, sir. It's not over just yet. But many people have expressed worry about, the pain that soldiers and officers will feel in a unit when their commanding officer has been killed in action. It's, tantamount to seeing a father figure or a person like your own father, dying in action. The emotions of it cannot be ignored. We have one of the most professional, if not the most professional armed force in the world. There is no question of, stopping to grieve, etc., because this is a live operation. But what would be happening inside the unit at this point of time, sir?
Look, people would be upset.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about it. People would be upset. People would be wanting to see that those who have caused this are eliminated as soon as possible. But let me assure you that it is our professional duty, professional responsibility to carry on with the action that we have been taking. So I have never ever seen any unit getting into with a bad morale kind of a situation. Not undertaking the responsibility or the duty that they have to. I have seen even some senior officers once, they lose their lives, but the others there, they in fact they want to take revenge, if I can use that word. That is to eliminate the people who have caused this pain. But whether it is army or it is the Air Force tradition, that when somebody loses his life, the whole squadron takes off.
Yeah.
And they go to the sky, And so similarly, the same fashion, the same custom continues in the army also. And nobody hesitates from taking further action or carrying out your responsibility or the duty which is given to you.
And also these units, they don't even have the luxury of, any kind of downtime when something like this is taking place. The last question, General Malik, then is, what next? This current operation is still unfolding. Will there be further action beyond this as well? Because after all, according to reports, 2 of these terrorists are said to be Pakistan nationals from the other side. Do you see any further action beyond the immediate that's happening in Kokernag, sir?
Look, the actions will carry on.
Yeah.
I would consider this as a tactical action, and I suppose there will be many more tactical actions, both within J&K, whenever there is any information about the terrorists hiding there. also there will be actions along the line of control to make sure that nobody can infiltrate through the line of control. But these are all tactical actions, maybe to some extent operational. My worry is not that. My worry is that this will carry on. My worry is, why should it carry on?
Yes.
My worry is, why should it carry on for last 50 years now? I have been in the army for a long time, and I have seen this cross-border activities of Pakistan going on since 1980s. Earlier it was Punjab, and then later on spread to J&K and even sometime all over India. So I personally feel that it is time now for us to look at these things strategically, and taking into keeping in mind that whatever actions that we have taken so far, they haven't resulted in policy change in Pakistan.
Yes.
So my view is that it's time for us now for an integrated policy with all wings of the government, not only militarily, but also diplomatically, politically, and cause some kind of a strategic disruption on the other side, that they are made to halt this policy and be prepared for any escalation if it takes place. We keep talking about cricket ko band kar do, hockey ko band kar do. These are not going to make them change their policies. So I'm not really bothered so much about cricket ko band kare ya khelte rahe. But I'm now concerned with some kind of a major policy decision to be taken by the government, which can cause strategic disruption on the other side, so that we have taken such actions earlier. You know it, in 1971 we took that. Then we took 84 when we went and occupied Siachen Glacier ranges area. In 99, while we took the advantage, we were able to ensure that they cannot occupy, but we didn't take any greater advantage as far as the terrorism or counter-terrorism or J&K part is concerned. So we have to think now bigger and not just retain, keep thinking कि हमारे अभी casualties कम हो गई, ज़्यादा हो गई. That depends on what the enemy is doing. But the fact is that the enemy has not changed its policy. I mean, that's my view. So therefore, we have to look at an integrated strategic disruption on the other side, how we can do it. But before that, we have to make sure that we ourselves are working together and we have an integrated plan. And we are also prepared for any escalation if that takes place.
When one gets a sobering view and a reality check of that kind from someone like General VP Malik, it carries a huge amount of weight, and there's no debate. That's a very, very sobering view you've left us with, General Malik, and I thank you for that. It is highly appreciated because it gives all of us and hopefully the system something to think about, that while we may grieve the loss of two fine young officers and a policeman from the Jammu and Kashmir police, let us never forget that nothing we have done in 40 years has resulted in policy change in the country that sends the terrorists that cause these effects on our territory. This is something that I want to keep the spotlight on as we continue to pay tribute to brave men and women who continue to enter the crossfire to keep this country safe. General VP Malik, always an honor and a privilege, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time and your wisdom here on India Today.